That message is a warning. It'll shut it off. What? 6 months? I have been. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let me let y'all.
Good morning.
I wanted to be in a different location, but it is so dark. Downstairs is kind of dark too, but I don't get a lot of light down there. I got windows, but I got hard glass box windows. I ain't trying to let no things cover my windows at night while I'm asleep. Okay, but I got windows and everything. But the thing is, I was communicating with some of the people this morning because Happy Veterans Day to all you veterans out there who have served, given your heart and soul and energies to sustaining this country. Happy Veterans Day to you all, dedicated servicemen and women. I appreciate you. I come from a family of dedicated servicemen and women. My father's side of the family, all of the men, you hear me? All of the men, all his brothers, every last one of them served in the military. World War I, World War II vets. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So I am just forever grateful to all of you all. I'm forever grateful to my dad and them, even though they're not living right now. And I know Memorial Day is for them. But I'm still forever grateful to have been a child of, a relative of, a friend of those who have served, given their hearts and souls to this country. And keep it on a good note. A lot of people served in these wars, and they weren't respected nowhere near for the service that they've given, even by their own military branches. A lot of racism and everything went on throughout those too, and yet they were a lot of times the people on the front line and did a lot of work and upheld this country, and they still were disregarded. And so I want to say hats off to all of those who had to go through those type of sufferings while being inducted in the military. We are forever grateful for your service. I know I am. I can't speak for the country at home, but I can say I'm forever grateful for your service. And I thank you for your service. And I mean, it's not much more I can say. I miss those who have gone through the service, those who we lost at war. I miss those who served and are no longer here to celebrate. But I celebrate those who are alive and well today for your day, Veterans Day. Robert Jones from Shoot School, Morgan Park, all of y'all out there, Marines, Navy, Army, Air Force, man, listen, forever grateful to all of you all. And I'll stay that way. Yes, I'll stay that way. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. And would you be mine? I mean, could you be mine? I mean, because it's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Or could you be mine? I've always wanted to have a neighbor like you. I've always wanted to be in a neighborhood with people like you. So let's make the most of this rainy, gloomy day. Bring it to joy and sunshine. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Would you be my neighbor?
And good morning, everybody, and happy Veterans Day. And I'm not a veteran myself, but my father, my grandfather, all of my male cousins were Marines. Every last one of them, except for my dad and my grandfather's brother. They were both in the Army. My dad was stationed in Germany, and I just want to put this out there. I appreciate the service, and this goes out to all of the wounded veterans that came back with limbs missing and shrapnel in their body. And then to come home to such disrespect and disregard, for the veterans, it's just
it's heartbreaking.
It's a travesty. It's a travesty the way they treat the veterans here in the United States. They say that like 39% of your homeless people are veterans.
Yep. Yep.
Male and female.
Yep. Yep.
And that should be unheard of. If somebody served this country, in that capacity where you put your life on the line every day and to be hurt and then to come home and be dishonored, where's your heart?
Right.
Where's your humanity
that you went to serve for?
My next door neighbor, Harry Dotson, Miss McNeil's son, for the people in Morgan Park that know who I'm talking about, Miss McNeil that owned the fish market, her son, I remember I was 6 years old, and I remember when he got drafted and taken to the Vietnamese War. And him and two of my cousins were all Purple Heart recipients. And Harry, he had shrapnel still in his body. He walked with a cane the rest of his life. When he came back, he was 27 years old and totally disabled and had to fight so hard to get benefits. It was like they act like he never did anything. And it's just crazy.
He was black.
Yeah. But you know what? It really don't. It don't even have nothing to do with that. As far as the service that these veterans are getting, because they're doing the white, the Latino.
It's a lot of them down there homeless, underground whacker right now. And I know because why? I go down there and feed them there all the time. And it's a damn shame. And it hurts my heart because how the hell do you serve for a fucking redneck ass country that don't even try to give you a damn automatic wheelchair when you need one? And they can put you in the damn wheelchair. You got one leg and one damn arm and you trying to roll a wheelchair. How do you serve? How does a country even have you out here fighting for these sons of fucking assholes out here trying to take other people's shit out of their country from these wars. There's always some old game behind it.
It's about money. It's about money. And colonization, because whether people know it or not, putting a military base on somebody else's land is colonizing. And you're putting a force on there that that's bringing guns, aircrafts, tanks. I mean, they're bringing weaponry. And a lot of places that the United States have went to supposedly help other countries, they had a ulterior motive in going. Because if you really wanted to help somebody, why are still so many countries without? When are they going to level the playing field and make everybody's money worth the same? I just don't understand how you could take a $100 bill from America whose money isn't gold back, it's asset back. That means the assets is the liability of people. Oh, when he grows up, he's gonna have a job and he's gonna pay taxes. So, they figure out a way to where they can print as much money as they want, but in reality, American money ain't worth the paper that is printed on. Because it has no monetary value at all when it comes to being backed by a natural resource. It used to be when before Richard Nixon became president, he and the powers that be did a think tank, and they wanted to figure out a way how they could print more money because you legally couldn't print the money unless you had the gold to back it up. That's why they had Fort Knox. Fort Knox was supposedly the gold reserves for the United States, and it still exists. The gold does have to have reserve. Every country has gold and reserves because if anything ever happens to the world banking system and all of the paper money goes down, gold it'll revert back to gold, platinum, silver, copper, diamonds, hate to say it, oil, are all natural resources that can be used to back finance. So, that's every war that we've ever had on this planet just about has been about money and monetary gains for whoever the victor is. And the victor goes the spoils. That in the Bible, they say they used to take the booty, and when these countries would go to war, if you read the history of it, if it's about independence anywhere on the planet, Pan-Africans have won the war. I don't give a damn if it's Mexico, the United States, in Africa, in South America, in Haiti. Everywhere there's been a war about independence, Africoid, Pan-African, whatever you want to call it, Black people, African American, we were the ones that won those wars. When the United States went over there to kick Hitler's behind, guess what? It was a tank battalion. When Mussolini was kicking ass, guess what? It was a black tank battalion called the Black Panthers. And they went over there and they whooped ass and take names and they took over everything. They took it all back. They pushed Mussolini back. Mussolini was Italian who joined Hitler in his fight because he said, well, I'd rather join him than to lose. But I really don't want to bash nobody, but the truth is just the truth. So how Europeans operate. They don't give a damn who you are. They'll throw you under the bus. They throw their own under the bus. So Hitler threw him under the bus, and the blacks won it. The Red Wing fighters. You ever seen that movie Red Wing about the black pilots that were dog fighting? They were the ones that went over there and kicked ass. When the United States, before it was the United States, when it wanted to win its independence, guess what they did? They got them slaves because them slaves were strong. They could run. They was ready to kill, and they promised them freedom. And what they do? What the Aboriginal people of America say? White man speaketh with forked tongue, and he's still doing it today. Look at the Ahmaud Arbery case. The prosecutor of that has been indicted because of her role in protecting the two men, the father and the son duo, and their friend that was going to videotape it, like they did when they used to throw a picnic. We gonna take some pictures of this nigga burning. So he gonna video them killing the black guy, and they probably was gonna sit around and look at that and think that was gonna be a film to watch. Look at it, watch him. He's gonna flip him again. Look, he's hitting the concrete. Look at all that blood. Look at there. and people have got to come out of this stupor. White folks got to realize they can't live in this world by themselves. They know they can't, but they won't admit it. They need us. They can't survive without us. They can't win a war without us. They can't grow nothing without us, because
It ain't
without
meant
the
for 'em.
Farmer's Almanac, they wouldn't even have knew how to grow anything. They need us on this planet in order to survive, without a doubt, whether they want to admit it or not. If they got rid of us, they'll be the weakest earthlings ever on earth. And y'all and everybody know it, but it's a damn shame, how they do black veterans and white veterans and everybody else. I want to stay on subject of these vets.
Today is their day. Let's give it to them.
Lee's father,
to them, baby.
Alicia's father was one of the groundbreaking Marines that was at the first Marine base. They've actually changed that name of the base to I think Lee said it was the man's name was Morgan. I can't remember. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But maybe she'll pop it up on the screen if she's still looking. The name of the base.
I got somebody in Montford Point. I got somebody who actually is a actual live living.
Here we go.
Marine.
Thank you for your service, bro.
Thank you. Semper Fi to all the Marines on the line, and happy birthday, Marines. Yesterday, we celebrated 246 years of the Marine Corps doing what they do. And today is actually Veterans Day.
Yes.
So happy Veterans Day to all the vets on the line. And Semper Fi. So you tossed one back already. Is that orange juice?
Oh, no. That's a detox drink.
That's the detox I told people about.
Okay, good.
Pep you up, slim you down.
Well, I need to do that.
Hey, everybody, let me introduce you. Everybody, let's welcome Robert Jones to the screen. Robert Jones is a Semper Fi Marine, retired, full-fledged serviceman. And guess what? He also is in business to help people retrieve all of their benefits and all of what they're supposed to have. This guy has put his life on the line, has put his words out there. He has put his dignity up for everybody else to bring justice to those who have served in the military and make sure that they're supposed to get everything that they're supposed to have. Welcome, Robert Jones and Frugal Mama. Thank you for joining us. All of you all who are joining us who are military back, thank you. Today is Thankful Thursday, and what a day to have Veterans Day. Robert, let us know all about the life.
Okay, well, where do you want me to start?
When did you join? What made you join?
That was where I was going anyway. So Neila and I, at first, thank you for the introduction, and that was awesome. She makes me out to be more than who I really am. And I thank her for that. She's just awesome
the brother humble.
Yeah, awesome in many ways. Thank you so much.
That too, okay.
But yeah, well, I call myself was a big time baseball guy, and I thought I was gonna make it to the league. Played a little semi-pro ball and went to college there in Chicago, and I dropped out. Went and joined the Marine Corps. I heard a stat on television. That at that time, the average age of the African-American men was 23. So I said, you know what? I'm 19. I need to get away from that stat. So I went up to the recruiter's office after having, two brothers in the Army. One was currently serving. Wow. And went up to the recruiter's office to join the Army. Well, they were closed. So now I'm angry. This is the military. It's 0800. They're supposed to be open. I just couldn't. I didn't get it. I couldn't fathom what was really going on at the moment. And next thing you know, as I walked away, a few expletives, and the guy opened the door. Who's banging on my hatch? So I learned what hatch was. That was my first military lesson. The hatch was the door. And I said, well, we are. And it was a gentleman. I don't know if you remember Ben White. Ben and I were together, and we supposed to have gone in on the buddy plan. and I qualified. He didn't. So you know the story. I'm retired, and unfortunately he didn't have a good time run in the city. But what happened? He said, "What are you looking for?" I said, "Well, we're looking for the Army." He said, "Well, they're closed." "What do you know about the Marine Corps?" "Nothing." The man got me yelling, "Nothing. Come here." So I went in and he showed me all these gung-ho videos. And I was just a tough cookie anyway, great shape, epitome of great shape. And the guy said, I looked at that stuff and I said, I can do that. And that was it. And I signed up March 19th. And I shipped May 7th. I mean, I wasn't playing around. Let me wait. No, let me get out of Chicago. So I started on a new journey, changed my life tremendously. And because of that career, I'm pretty set up nicely now in Atlanta. I've been married 31 years.
ATL.
Hey, there we go. Are you here? Are you down here, Randall?
I'm in Powder Springs, Georgia.
Okay, well, how don't we? I'm down in Fairburn. Let's catch up one day, have a root beer or something.
Do you know Sue Ray?
Yeah, I know Sue Ray.
That's her brother.
Really?
Yeah, that's Turk.
Look like, yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
You went to Morgan Park?
Yeah.
So you know my mother too then.
Who was your mother?
Miss Ray.
Miss Ray.
Miss Ray, she taught.
No, she used to be with Miss Sanders and Miss Myers. They were hall monitors, and then she was the counselor in the counseling office. Yeah.
Yeah, I know your mother. That's awesome. Wow. How's Sue? How's your mom?
Oh, doing great. She had COVID, beat it, drive to Florida. Doing her thing.
Move. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Now you froze yourself. What you do, Rob?
He got a call.
Oh, calls.
And if it's on his phone, then
calls will knock you out.
Sorry, that's my brother. I was trying to get him to jump on the line.
Oh, is he
military? Can you hear me?
Too?
Hold on.
I'm
trying to figure out why I don't know you.
I don't know why you don't know Robert Jones. I don't know why you don't know Robert Jones.
Where you stay at in Morgan Park?
Can he hear you?
He got to read his phone. He can't hear us. It's okay.
Oh, his brother talking.
Yeah.
He gonna come back on, y'all.
Yeah.
Send his brother.
But they all veterans, so they got sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why this is the morning dedicated, and I'm so grateful. This is the morning dedicated to veterans, man. I'm telling you, because this is first of all, it's my dedicated day, Thankful Thursday, and then for it to be Veterans Day. What a glorious day to have Thankful Thursday and Veterans Day all fall on the same day. This is awesome. I mean, I couldn't have asked for nothing better. This is great. Then to have Robert Jones on here, a Marine himself, and then to know a lot of you, Frugal, all of you all who are out here watching, Alicia Priester, whose dad was part of the Montford Point Marines and all, this is
what's the new name of that? They changed it from Montford Point to what?
She said
I don't know. It's
Camp Johnson. Camp Johnson.
Yeah, Camp Johnson. It's always been Camp Johnson. Well, it went from Montford Point to Camp Johnson.
Yeah. I
was stationed at Camp Johnson years ago. So that's where my career started.
Wow.
At Camp Johnson.
Wow.
So I went to, when I got going, tough cookie, ran into a little racism my first 4 years. So instead of, getting myself in any trouble, April 5th, 1988, I got off active duty. I got out. I tried the reserve thing. I drilled as a reservist one weekend, absolutely hated it. Then I said, hey, I'm an active duty Marine. So as my wife and I were doing our laundry, this guy walked in the laundromat and he said, hey, he was in uniform. I said, hey, look, I just got off active duty a month ago. And I said, man, I cannot be a civilian. I am a Marine. And he started laughing at me. And I got a little angry. I wanted to punch the dude. And he told me, he said, hey, that's funny that you mentioned that. I'm a prior service recruiter. So I said, perfect. So he got me right back in. June 1st, I was back on active duty. I accepted a set of orders January '89 to Kansas, and I just took off, finished, did my 16 years, retired in Selfridge Air National Guard Base in Mount Clemens, Michigan, and I already had a home in Columbus, Ohio. So I did the commute thing, deployed for Afghanistan like my last year and a half. I got home and retired. So I was good. Everybody's trying to reach me on Veterans Day, so they
Yeah.
That's what we said.
everything's popping up on my phone right now.
That's what we were saying earlier. Turk said,
Yeah.
well, you know, he a Veterans Day, all of them veterans, so they all trying to say, hey today, you know.
Yep.
And it's a beautiful thing, Robert, to be alive and well.
Absolutely.
And, you know,
Yeah. It's
And
been
whole.
a long but wonderful journey. I can tell you, Sheila and Jay, they've been amazing. Anytime, I would go to the field for 30, 45 days. Anytime I can call home and Sheila says everything's okay, I could do my job even better. Knowing I had that supporting cast at the house, it was fabulous. And after I retired, I went through the VA process. And every day I talk to young men and women that tell me, hey, yeah, I'm a vet. Okay, so my question, are you receiving any type of disability? Nah, man, I ain't doing that, man. That's for the people that really need it. And I'm like, wow, okay. So I started thinking, and I see, you serve. They already have that money set aside for every veteran that's coming off of active duty. Every veteran. They also have, let's take a look at the reservists, the Reserve Marines. They're served for 20 years drilling. They got a lot of people do a lot of things in reserves because the opportunities are there. So they build points, and they can't actually start getting paid until age 59. Mind you, you retire at 39, but you don't start collecting a check until age 59, your full retirement pay. So what happens if you die at 49? Where does that money go? That money does not go to your family. That's money that's gone. It just goes away. It goes back into the pot. And you telling me they don't have money for you because it's all one big pot. The VA is the third largest federal agency. And there's money out there to support every veteran that gets out. And I love the young ones, 18, they do 4 years, 18, get out, 22, 23 years old. Oh, I just sprained my ankle while I was in. Okay, good to go. Guess what? You're 22 now. You will be 32 and 42 and 52 and 62. And what's going to happen? That ankle sprain is going to turn into some type of arthritis.
Yep.
That ankle sprain is not just going to affect that ankle. It's going to move around your body. So a lot of, I don't do that. Okay, good. I'm glad you said it. But I did not give up. So what they do, and they're tricky with it, because when I retired, they gave me 40% disability. So what happened, what 40% means, 40% of my retirement check became tax-free income. The other 60 were taxable income. So they did that for a reason, because the threshold is 50. When you hit 50%, now they have to pay you 2 checks. So you start getting your whole retirement check, which will become all taxable income, and then you get a second check for your VA benefit, which is tax-free. So they do that. They stop at different thresholds for certain reasons. At 30%, you rate what's called voc rehab, vocational rehab.
Wow.
At 30%. So when I got off of active duty, I went and took a test, and they set me up, took a test, and they took all of my information, and they said, well, hey, this guy here, we could send him back to college for these type jobs. So they sent me to get my business degree, So I got a bachelor's in business management through the VA system, and they paid me $1,100 a month stipend to just go to school. So that's what I did. So I milked 50 grand out of them, but it's my money.
Right.
I served for that.
And you served your time. Your time.
Right.
And people don't know what they have available to them. Then just to fast forward, they moved me to 90%. 90%, my check got bigger. And then when I hit 100%, they just threw everything at me. So I don't know. I know a lot of people on the line. I hear about medical and dental insurance, which you guys pay out there in the civilian community. Well, at 100%, my medical and dental is absolutely free. Absolutely free. I pay nothing. I get up, I go to dental, I go to a doctor, any surgery, anything I need, it's free. And another big tax break I get, my home. My home. My home is 4,200 square feet, pretty big for two people, but this is what Sheila wanted, so I'm just obedient. And I was paying $3,900, almost
happy wife, happy life.
Right. I was paying $39, almost $4,000 a year for taxes. Guess what my taxes were last year? $300. Guess what they are this year?
Wow.
$11. So I get the homestead tax in 100%. Also, I don't pay ad valorem taxes on my car. So I go buy a new car. I don't tell them until they give me all the numbers, and they tell me what it's going to be. Okay, good to go. Now you can take that off. You can take that off because I don't pay those taxes. So yeah, it's been very beneficial. It's been a journey, and I help. I help people. I talk to them. If I can't do it for you, I try and educate you, tell you where to go, what to do, give you the forms. And if anyone interested in submitting a claim, I'll give you a phone number, and I promise you, the number I'm going to give you, they have so much knowledge there, and they pass out so much information that we do not know.
Yeah, I needed that number 6 years ago. My uncle was an Air Force veteran.
I need that number 40 years ago, so I could have got all my daddy's money. Actually, I need that money in 2006 when he died, so I could have got all the money.
Yeah. So, and he's now deceased. So, I don't know much about after, but I have dealt with some veterans that they had a loved one, bedridden or something, and their time was short, and it wasn't much, but the VA paid for. If you put them in National Cemetery, of course, the burial is free. Mm-hmm. And they pay for travel to and from the hospital to go see him because he's on his last days. So you're going to and from to see your loved one. They paid that benefit, and they gave the family it was like $2,500 for something I forget. But the biggest mistake veterans do is not file or not file, but you need to get in the VA system. If you don't file a claim, let them know that you served, because once you disconnect it, you're disconnected. When you get out, take your DD-214 down to the VA and let them know, hey, I need to get in the system. And they're going to take a copy of that, and they're going to put you in the system. Now they just created a file for you. So every time you call this number and you want some information, they're going to say, hey, what is your name? What is your last four? And you're going to populate on this screen. Yeah, you'll populate. And then you can have any type of discussion with them about the VA. Any type of discussion.
And I want to say, I see PM Nicola Saunders, her and her husband have served. Okay. And she just retired, and she's a young woman. And I met her online, Robert. She was in Italy with her family. And she chimed in because our show at the time was about sexual relations and young people. And she chimed in with her daughter. And from that, we've been friends ever since.
Good.
And PM Nicola, I want to let you know, She said they don't 100% total and permanent. And
That's
but I want to let you come on board. I sent you a link through Messenger. Nicola, please come on board and join us this morning. I would love for you to join us on the show this morning with information from your side, because she was in the Army.
Okay, perfect. I was about to speak to that because the Army.
Oh, join us. I sent it to your messenger.
Yeah, the Army, they do things a little bit differently. They make sure that their veterans are the people that are about to become a veteran, they go through the programs and they get packages started. So they will have a rating in most cases, a lot of cases, before they get out. My niece, she's a retired major, and she just retired a month ago. And now she is 100% total and permanently disabled, but she knew that within a month of her retirement. It took me 16 years to get to where I am now.
That's what happened to my uncle, the same thing. And he had cancer in his last 6 years. And it took me going through a woman that I met at my church that was a veteran, and she worked for a hospice company. And so she asked me if I needed help. And so I told her he was a veteran. So she helped me get everything that I needed so that they could pay me for taking care of him. And it even boosted his benefits.
Yeah. I'm glad, Miranda, I'm so glad you shared that piece of information, because what you just brought back to my mind was my wife was diagnosed with cancer in 2014. So what they did for me, they paid me $2,023 a month to take care of my wife. My wife, she's not a veteran. She's never been in the military, but she tapped my benefits. Yeah.
So everybody, I have brought Nicola Saunders onto the screen with us, and then she's doing some stuff. She keeps her grandbaby and all. Her husband is still active duty. And she's like I said, retired. And so, just two different perspectives. A lot of people are not even familiar with the stages of the military. And well, they're familiar with the sectors of it: Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, but they're not familiar with the stagings. When I say stagings, I mean what your offerings are, what you're able to receive, and all this. Like you said, a lot of people don't even know. They don't even get into the database. They don't even put themselves in there. And so therefore, a lot of stuff that goes on, we miss it. We miss it because we're not in there. Now, let me tell y'all about my dad. My dad was a World War II Navy veteran. My father had 2 toes cut off in the war. My father built parachutes. He cooked his ass off. And my dad barely got $200 a month. He got fucked big time because he was illiterate when he went in. He was drafted as a child from Mississippi with a 4th grade reading level. Not even reading level. I'm sorry, a 4th grade education level. I taught my dad how to read. I was 13 teaching my father how to read. I did not know he could not read thoroughly. But my dad never got what he should have gotten, like most people have gotten.
That's what I'm saying about my uncle. It took him till he was on his deathbed before he started getting full benefits, because a lot of people don't know how to go about getting the benefits.
Right. and we got Nicola here with that grandbaby. Hey, Smoke,
so cute.
And she's just adorable. So Nicola Saunders, you guys, is a retired Army veteran, and her husband is still very much active duty. And Nicola, you put in the comments, they don't 100% total and permanent. And enlighten us on what you were saying for those of us who aren't military, who might not know the language when we see it or read it. Let us know what you were talking about when you say they don't 100% total and permanent.
Well, I was commenting in 2 parts with Robert was saying about people don't know about their benefits and stuff that they have available to them. And also that I am 100% total and permanent, and a lot of I do have access to a lot more benefits that, let's say my husband got out today and he didn't get 100%. Like I have a lot more access to benefits that he wouldn't have. Since I reside in the state of Louisiana and I'm 100% total permanent disabled veteran, my kids and my stepkids, if they choose to go to school here, like a college, public college, any public institution, it's 100% paid for. 100% paid for.
That's another one of those.
That's on top of the GI Bill. It's on top of the GI Bill. It's on top of the Chapter 35. For me being a 100% disabled veteran. So they get that stipend from the GI Bill or the Chapter 35, and they get to pocket that money because their school is paid for.
Okay, so
what else do we get? We do get the, like you said. I
have a question for you, because when I retired, my son, he had graduated college already. So, you know, as far as I know, you can go, like I mentioned, a voc rehabilitation. That's how I got my first degree. And then I did that. And I didn't have the Montgomery GI Bill. I had VEAP when I went in, which is Veterans Education Assistance Program. Well, what they did for me, they matched me, I think for every $1 I put in, they gave me $2 for education. And I was able to take that out and create a savings with that. I couldn't transfer that over to my children. However, I know the Montgomery GI Bill does allow that. So what you're saying, and because I know a little bit about it, but I'm not the expert because I never had to experience that. But I know you can take that money, and now you got the post 9/11 GI Bill as well, which you were qualified for because of the time of service that you were in. Actually, I made it by 13 days.
Right.
I'm all educationed out. But I know with that, you're able to transfer your money over to your children. Is that what you're saying? Did I get that correctly? Okay,
right.
Good.
Before I retired out in 2017, I had to switch over from the Montgomery GI Bill to the post 9/11 in order for me to be able to give it to them, because once I got out, there was no transferring it, and there was also there was no transferring from the Montgomery GI Bill to the post 9/11, and then I couldn't transfer it to my kids after I got out, so I had to do it before I retired out.
Okay, awesome. So that's another way you can assist your children, you know, with educational benefits, because we don't do it, and I hate to say it, but the African American community, we go by, we take each day at a time, and we don't look forward. You know, it's a lot of people don't do a lot of forward thinking, and I didn't until I got older and a little bit more educated and experienced in life. Now I began to, you know, think that way, but I'd already had a plan in place because I know my kid was going to college. If nothing else, you're going to have that first degree. Whatever you do after that, it was totally on you. So yeah, we don't do that.
Right.
But yeah, Nicole, you had mentioned, you were talking about, we both said the same thing. If her husband was to get out, and let's say he become 100%, what I was speaking to earlier with the additional benefits that I received with the homestead tax exemption, free fishing, free hunting, all that stuff, no avalon taxes. You know, what I was talking about, the difference is total and permanently disabled.
Wow.
So that's how we are categorized, she and I. And a lot of people get the 100%, but then it was for pay. You know, check this out. I received a phone call. I received a phone call before, as they were making a decision on my award. They were giving me 100%, and then they called me and they asked me, "How old are you?" I said, "I'm 54. I'll be 55 in about 3 months." They said, "Oh, okay, cool," and hung up the phone. So that age 55 was a big, I guess it was a decision maker in giving me total and permanently disabled.
What?
They called me and asked me my age. Sure did. And since I was so close to 55, they granted me the total and permanent.
So let me ask this question.
Sure.
Here I am, a child, the only child of my dad, and he was a military Navy veteran for World War II. Very uneducated because he was drafted. And so my father didn't know what, he didn't know any of this stuff, and nor did my mom.
Mhm.
We just weren't involved or knowledgeable on this back in the day.
Mhm.
Was there a ways that I can still claim parts of that for my education? Or for anything, any type of benefits for me?
No.
Okay.
You aged out, so that would be a no.
Right.
My kids have up until for like the chapter 35 of the money that they get because I am total and permanent disabled. They age out at 31.
Really?
For the GI Bill, I believe they age out at 24. I want to say
26.
But yeah, you've aged out for those services.
Nicola is 20.
Like my husband can't even use my benefits because
He aged out.
he aged out too. That for your spouse is 32 and he just hit 40. So he can't. I told your age, Tim. So he can't use the benefits either.
So
I know he ain't had his age like us.
So it's 20. I believe that law changed to 26 because I was able to keep my son on my insurance until he turned 26 years old.
That's the insurance. That's not the educational benefits.
It's not the education. Okay.
Yeah, that's not the educational benefits. That's the the TRICARE or the TRICARE.
Yeah. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good. You're good, and we just need to help others to get to where we are.
I make sure I do that, especially because we're at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and I try to like help my husband with his soldiers that are about to get out of transition. I like go to the doctor because a lot of men don't like to go to the doctor. They they tough. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Go get everything checked out. When I retired, my medical file was about like this, and then they had to give me 2 CDs on top of that. When I retired out 4 years ago, I took my husband to one of my appointments, and the guy there, he said, men do not come, they don't show up. So when they get out of service, they walk away with nothing because they don't go to the doctor. I'm like, look, Joker, I'm 40. Well, I just turned 44 last month, but I was like, look, my money is my money, and you need to go get the rest of my money when you get out the military. So
right.
You need to go to the doctor. I don't care if you sneeze the wrong way. You need to go to the doctor and get that written up.
Mama.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, because it's simple things. Just like my finger. I don't know if you can see my finger. Like that finger, it doesn't straighten all the way out. That's a percentage.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's called I forgot the name of it, but it doesn't straighten all the way out. That's percentage. Like anything. You could go to carpal tunnel. You have to wear a brace. Then you get a clothing stipend on top of that because you have to wear a brace and it rubs up against your clothes and it diminishes your clothes. Don't last too long. So I send him to the doctor for everything. And most of the time I go because when I go in there, when he goes in there, oh, it's fine. I'm like, no, that's not what you said this morning. I had to put your shoes on this morning, remember? You say you couldn't bend over because your back hurt.
Right. My uncle had cancer, and that was his problem. He'd go in there for evaluation, but they asked him, well, can you put your shoes and socks on by yourself? Yeah, I can do it. And I'm putting his shoes and socks on him. But I didn't know he was telling them that because I didn't go in the back with him. But then later on, when he was so depleted to where he was wheelchair ridden, the doctor said, well, he went down kind of fast. He was like, it shouldn't have been that fast. He was like, he was telling me he was able to do a lot of stuff. I was like, when did he tell you that? I was like, I've been putting his shoes and pants and dressing him for almost 2 years now. And he was like, well, that's not what he's been telling us. And so that blocked him from a lot of benefits.
Right.
Yeah, that's, you could have been getting paid.
Yeah. Didn't I tell you that, Turk? Didn't I tell you that? I said, Turk, you should have been on the payroll.
and I did it. I'm telling you, it was a young lady in Columbus, Ohio. I promise you, the base where I worked, I was a contracting officer for the government.
Wow.
So when I left it, I would leave the base, go right next door to the VA hospital. Then there was this young lady. She probably was like a GS7 or something, and she'll stop me, Mr. Jones, I need you to get in here and fill out this paperwork. And I used to ignore her. But this is the guy that was at 40% at the time, right?
Mm.
And I just kept going. And one day she grabbed me. Mr. Jones, get in my office now. Sit down. And she gave me these documents. I'm telling you, she put these documents in front of me. I filled them out. I signed them. She date stamped them. She filed them in a week. 1 week, I got a phone call. And I started. Excuse me. I haven't had my coffee yet. And I started to receive the benefit to take care of my wife. So and what happened, they cut out bone, they cut out her hip socket, part of her pelvic, and they fused the femur to the pelvic. So on one side straight, then she's a couple inches shorter. So I mean, it was pretty serious surgery, and I'm playing around with this paperwork. So they started paying me $2,023 a month to take care of my wife. My wife had never been in the military. Because of my status, they came into my house and they put a chairlift in my home. So when she get up on her walker, she's not confined to the bedroom upstairs. She get on a walker and get to the chairlift, go downstairs, and she could sit in the living room and tell whoever, being me, how to cook her food. Nah, don't. But there are a lot of benefits out there that we are not tapping into as veterans. And I give the speech. I don't care where I am. I said hello to a Marine. I'm an umpire, and I said hello to this guy at the park. This man did this, and I said, oh wow. My mind instantly went to, he can't hear me. So I walked over to the fence as he tried to fix his hearing aid. And I said, hey, look. I said, are you getting any type of disability? Oh, funny that you mentioned. Every third word was a cuss word. And white guy. He was 82 at the time.
I love it.
He said back in 1962, because he was a Korean War vet.
Wow.
Back in 1962, my son-in-law put in a claim for me. They gave me 10%. 10%.
That's what they gave my father.
They gave him 10%. And then he said, oh, hell, it was just $12 a month. I just went and bought beer. So, I talked to him. I sat down with him. I sat in Wendy's. Wendy's had closed. And they were bringing me coffee, and we sat there. They were cleaning up the place. And I wrote up his package. And, of course, anytime you assist somebody with a package, you have to put your name and your physical address on that package. So I did, and he called me. I was down in Texas, and he, hell, what the hell? I don't know what these people talking about. He didn't understand any of it.
No.
And he said, they told me, the doctor said I can't hear worth the crap. That wasn't his word. And I started laughing. I said, well, it's not funny, but that's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
So when he told me that, I knew they were evaluating him for an increase. Because at first I was just going to go after, and we haven't talked, Nicola, right? We haven't talked about this yet, but they have what's called unemployability. So that's what I was going after, because they had increased him to 70%. So unemployability, you're 82 years old. I know you're not going to go back to work anywhere. So this man at 40%, if you have one disability that's rated at 40% and another combination of things, they get you to a 70% rating, then you can file for unemployability. Or if you had just one thing that they gave you a rating for that's 60%, then you can also file for unemployability. The only thing with that, you won't be able to go back to work, and because you're unemployable. So then you can apply for Social Security. That's what most people do. And I don't know about you, Nicola, but I applied for Social Security. And so now I'm also receiving Social Security disability. So I'm really not going back to work. I'm done. DUN.
I know that's right.
I tried for the Social Security disability before I went to Italy in 2017.
Okay.
And I think I did it too early because I wasn't out 6 months yet before I did it. And then when we got to Italy, I ran into a master sergeant that retired, and she did it. But I own my own business, so I didn't. It would have been good money now. It would have been great money, great money.
You just disqualified yourself when you said you own
right. Like, I own my own business, so it's like, to me, I'd rather do my business than to. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I'd rather like maintain my business and try to leave a legacy for my granddaughter that y'all just saw, you know, and my other kids than to get that at this time.
Yeah,
makes sense to me.
Well, that's good. Me, I have a 30-year-old and I have no grandbabies, so I'm just living in the now. I am still, you know, investing and putting things
tax-free.
Tax-free. Tax-free.
That's what I said. It would have been great money. It would have been great money. Because I have a 24-year-old, 23-year-old. My 19-year-old's up in college in Kansas. Then I have my two stepkids that are 18 and 16, and then my granddaughter. So it would have been great money, you know.
Right. Good stuff.
Hey, so I want to ask this. Well, I got my good morning, Rosalind, Rochelle, Alicia, Michael, Daybreak, Yvette. I see y'all, Sabrina. I just didn't want to cut off the great conversation. Alicia, Renee, Carla Blackerberry, Bonnie. I see all of y'all, Frugal, all of y'all, Alma, Linda. I see y'all, Marjorie. Thank you for joining me. Rochelle Givens is even in the audience. Robert.
Rochelle Givens, hey girl.
Yes. And she said, hey. She said, told you don't move, Robert, when you was messing up your TV your little camera earlier. And but here's what my question is.
What's up, Chuck Duck?
Hey, Charles. The people, and Rosalind is here also. Good morning, Rosalind. And the people who have gotten, let me ask you, all of these military men and women who are homeless in the streets, first of all, the streets of Chicago, I can't even mention Seattle. Seattle got them, Fort Dearborn and all that is out there. Seattle got so many homeless people, it is unreal downtown.
Florida too.
Chicago. I just cannot.
Here in the ATL, we got a lot of homeless.
You know, they took in a lot of men and women who were not educated. They did not they didn't even instill or impart the information of what all they were eligible for. These people went and they fought, they put their lives on the line, they come back with limbs that were gone. They still ain't getting a damn thing. How do you reclaim some of that, or can you reclaim some of that monies that has gotten past them, long gone? They're homeless in roller wheelchair. They don't even have electric. That's what I was talking about this morning. They don't even have electric wheelchairs, and they lost their damn legs in war. And it just fucks me up to the utmost ability to see this, because I think you went to fight for a country that, first of all, ain't yours in the first damn place. And they using us to fight for stuff to gain other people's wealth and all that kind of crap that goes on with what they be doing, all of their idiosyncrasies. And you guys are putting your hearts and souls into something and believing in everything. How do they even reclaim all that money that they should have gotten anyway? But because of illiteracy, you know, those people who didn't have it, you know,
see, I can tell you now, if they didn't put no claim in them back years, you ain't gonna get no back money. They'll start it from the time that they put in for it. But with my uncle, he tried to do that when they made him 100%, and they only go back so far.
Well,
They go back to the day that you filed a claim.
Right.
But
But
a
what
lot of
about
those
those who didn't
programs,
file a claim because they didn't know a damn thing about filing a claim?
You
Is what
ain't
I'm
getting
saying.
nothing. Ain't nothing
a
happening.
lot of these programs, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yep.
Like a lot of things I didn't know because it's not talked about until you get out. But then you have to get with the right person. Be like, hey, Saunders, come here. Let me talk to you for a second. Hey, make sure you do A, B, C, D, and E before you get out. It's not prevalent like that. Like, it's somebody that knows or somebody that's in the system that may pull you aside and be like, hey, make sure you do this. Make sure you file this. When you go to your appointment, do A, B, C, D, and E.
Right.
Otherwise, you nobody tells you, you don't know. Like
Yeah.
my ex-husband, he's about to retire. Hey, when you go in there, do this. Make sure you apply for this. Some of my other battle buddies about to retire. Hey, I passed on the information that was given to me. And as far as like them being homeless, there are programs out there, especially for like minority women, veteran women, or women veterans in general. There are programs out there where they get them free housing. There are programs where they'll pay their bills. But if you don't know, you just don't know.
Yep.
And it's not like you
It's a
go like,
shame.
oh,
Can I
yeah,
take
it's not like you go to like a hospital, like find somebody random on the street and be like, hey, what should I do? Because again, if you're not in the system or if somebody doesn't know or don't present the information to you, you won't know.
Yep.
And I gotta say this: everybody here right now, I want to put a halt to all the conversation. People in this audience listening, please share this. Somebody out there in your network of groupings of people need to hear this. That if they don't know, they don't know, and they left out.
Right.
And let's try not to let anybody be left out. So share this. It's for the information. And
we need that number that Robert said he's gonna post.
Tell me when you're ready.
Hold on. Wait. Let me do it right now. Let me see something. Hold on. Give me the number.
It is 1-800-827-1000.
Bam.
And you call that number and they can get all your questions you have. They have a wealth of knowledge. You can ask, they're going to answer. They'll speak to you generally unless you are the veteran. Like Nicola, she didn't mention it exactly, but she said it. When you get out, and I mentioned it earlier, to put your nothing else, go to the VA and just get in the system. Let them know, hey, I just got out. Here's a copy of my DD 214. That way, you're in the system. When you call that number, they can speak directly to you and your personal needs. Nicola, you also mentioned about the homelessness. The word says you have not because you ask not. So I'm not here to preach this morning, but I'm going to share some information because I know people that are experiencing this. Right here in Atlanta at Fort McPherson, they have a place for homelessness. Any homeless vet, they can go to Fort McPherson and they feed them, they bathe them, they clothe them, they give them.
Tyler Perry Studios, Fort McPherson.
Yes, absolutely. So it is still open on that one side. Tyler Perry bought all the big land, but we still, that's what my primary care provider is. So there, when you enter the base, it's a gate. You're going to go through the guard, and it's to the right. You see the hospital right in front of you as you enter. If you don't turn and you didn't have a fence there, you run right into the building. But you park, they have a shuttle, they take you in, you can tell them your need, and then you got the train station right there. So they give you transportation cards where you can move around. So there are programs for the homeless vets. You just have to tap into it. I have a good friend of mine. He unfortunately fell on hard times. He was my roommate. He was a soldier, but I was telling him some things to do, and he finally got it right. But he's in Memphis, so they put him in a program where they're taking care of him. He was in, actually it was two. One for a 2-year program where you actually live there. you get 2 meals a day, and you can go to work. And then there's another program where they just actually take care of you. They don't expect you to go back to work for whatever reason. And then they help you with, VA assistance, getting some of the paperwork you need to get one to file a claim and different things like that. But there are programs out there, and I don't know them all. But if you tap into that 1-800 number that I shared, there's a lot of information. And I wish I'm going to get it to you guys. I have a direct contact to the White House, and I'm afraid to hit anything on my phone because I have that number. I want to get that number to veterans too. So if there's a problem, you can go over everybody's head, and it's called White House for Veterans. And you're going right to the top, and they take care of you from the top level down. I will get that number to you. I'm just afraid to hit my phone because I will, I lost you guys before. But I'll submit that number to you, Neila, and you can have it, and you can post it for like 2 weeks. Maybe somebody will come on within the 2-week time frame to be able to tap into that phone number and make that phone call.
That would be great. I love imparting good knowledge to people like that. And Nicola, that grandbaby of yours, girl, she is something else, baby. She's something else. That's my girl, right? That's my girl. I follow her on IG. She got her own IG page.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she took over my Instagram page. She that's my baby. I was an empty nester. Was. But now I got kids back in the house, so
them babies keep you young.
And she loved going to school, y'all. All the kids, when she walking to school, and she walking to school with her big old book bag on her back, and all the other little kids, they crying, and she looking at them like, "What the hell you crying for?"
Right,
And they look, what's wrong with them? I cracked them laughing.
She does. Like, she really got that resting face from her grandma. They not today. Not today. Please, I'm not. It's too early.
Let me put this out there. Rosalind Cook posted, if anyone needs food, there's a church at 155th and Lexington in Harvey, Illinois. It gives 3 and 4 bags of groceries of food. It's open from 10 to noon, and you must have driver's license or state ID.
Okay, that's good.
That is awesome. Thank you, Rosalind. That is awesome.
Appreciate that.
Lexington and Harvey, Illinois, everybody. That's right down the street from my aunt and them, believe it or not. They right around the corner. They on Lincoln.
So for people on here that don't need to go get the groceries, if you know somebody that's struggling and they need help, you could at least give them this information so they can go.
Yes. Or you can go pick it up and just drop it off to somebody. Maybe they can't get out there. Maybe they don't have a vehicle. Maybe they can't make it there. And then if they didn't have a vehicle and they're on the bus, that's a lot.
Well, then you might have to take them. And that if you go get it, you're going to have to use your ID, so you won't be able to help anybody else because they're not going to keep letting you come. So you might have to take the people yourself.
Right. She said the church is at the corner of 154th, 155th and Lexington. They welcome all, no matter where you live. That is a blessing. Thank you, Rob. That is awesome, because some of these churches do good food giveaways, and it's strictly
it's only for their area.
Yeah, the community. Yeah, your zip code. That's a blank. Thank you, Rosalind. And I was born in Ingalls, so I thank you.
So having said that, down here in Atlanta, we have what's called Georgia Feeds Atlanta.
Woo!
I've been working with that program for about, a little over a year. And I actually go out and I take trucks and we pick up fresh produce. Wow. And we actually I pick up and I deliver because I don't have anything else to do but golf. I'm a golfer now. So that's kind of what I do. And if anyone, of anyone, I know Randall, you're down here, anyone that you know that's in need. I know the last 2 times I was out of state. So, but she's doing it on a regular basis. I built a rapport with the lady, and they had had cabbage as big as my head. They had freaking watermelons, squash, eggplant. You know, they had a whole lot of things. They used to give perishables like milk and eggs, and I think they still do, but they revamped the program, and I haven't spoken with the gentleman that I've been working with. He picked up November 5th for me. But
awesome.
it's let me know. Just let me know, because I try and help everybody I can from my seat.
And Rosalind said it's every Thursday, only on Thursdays. So from 10 till noon, everybody, every Thursday, mark it in your calendars, put it in your day, appointment books, whatever. 10 till 12 every Thursday. That's a blessing. And Robert, that's a blessing also, that you do what you do.
Like T say, now you can reach back and give back, and you don't even have to go in your pocket, just a little bit of your time. It ain't gonna hurt to help somebody. Everybody ain't doing great.
Right.
And everybody ain't gonna tell you that they're not doing great.
That's that too. That's pride is something else.
They're not. And I gotta go back to this military thing though. I gotta ask you. Well, Nicola, you were in the branch of the Army, right?
Right.
And I really want honest truth from you all, so people can understand. Did you feel slighted at all while you were serving in the military as a Black woman?
You're female. Come on, T.
Okay. I felt like I had to work 4 times as hard as my counterpart. While they could get away with mediocrity, I had to be here, and while they could operate down here. Because I do have a strong, I try to taper it down, but I do have a strong, assertive personality. I was seen as a angry Black woman, or the one with the attitude. But then my counterpart can be emotional and cry all the time and can't never do nothing, and they just having a bad day.
What's wrong, Sarah?
Exactly. My mom, I'm from Atlanta too, like originally from Atlanta, born and raised, Bowen Homes, Adamsville. So, you know, so you come in with the sense of where you're from. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
No, silly.
You come in with a certain personality type, anyways, because from those areas, you kind of, you know, you already observe it.
You crushed it. You gotta be strong.
Right. So I brought that into the military with me, which built on that. But in some cases, depending on the leadership that I had, they didn't understand that. And it's, hey, Sergeant, hey, I need you to tone it down a little bit. Hey, Sergeant, you know, you're a little too hard on the soldiers. Not my problem, because you didn't put me in this leadership position to coddle people. I don't coddle at all, and that's probably like a downfall for me, because I don't coddle. I'm empathetic, but I don't coddle. So because my job was to train the person coming behind me to take my place. And if you sorry, you weak, you feckless, you ineffective, and you got to run and cry every time you stub your toe, why are you in here? Because you're supposed to take my place on the battlefield. Ain't nobody got time for you to be anyway. But to get back to your question,
keeping it real.
There is a difference. Like I said, there is a difference. I did have to work 4 times as hard as my counterpart, maybe sometimes 10 times as hard as my counterpart. Well, they had grace and forgiveness. There wasn't any for me. I got my degrees while I was in the military. I deployed twice as a single mom in the military. What else? Like the leeway wasn't given. So I had to be sharp. I had to know my stuff. And I had to be able to I had to learn this thing called tact. That I didn't have, because
Robert knows that one.
because like I said, I'm very direct, and like if I have access to information, I would just pop it out and I just say stuff, or I just like, hey, well, no, that's not right, and not necessarily look at what was on somebody, well, at that time on somebody's collar, because now you get a rank on your chest, but and like I was good at PT, I had to be good at PT. I had to be good at like the board stuff. I had to be good at knowing the regulations. I had to be not good. I had to be great. I had to excel at those things just to be able to compete with mediocrity.
And it kind of sounded like you was good at speaking truth to power.
Yeah, I was. Like when I was at Fort Campbell one time, that's in Kentucky. I wasn't air assault qualified, and my first sergeant came and said, "Hey, at the time McKnight, hey McKnight, well, the division sergeant major put out that if you're not air assault qualified, you can't be in a leadership position." Me being an E5 at the time, I was like, well, I said, sergeant major ain't air assault qualified, so why he still sergeant major?
Big win. I left you.
So I would say stuff like that, and then he was like, well, you know, he has a different no. When sergeant major leaves that position and is no longer the battalion sergeant major, I will no longer be the squad leader. And so it was my delivery that was a problem.
It was sarcastic.
No, I was just straight up.
I thought maybe I could, I thought maybe it was okay to do this since so-and-so is not SARF certified either. And I thought maybe since we both are like that, it was okay.
Right. So that's how they want you to package things. Yeah. But I didn't, because my mom taught me to know who I was and be standing who I am. While I respected and feared her, she taught me to fear no man. Mm-hmm. And so I did it. And then
I had went to register to go to the military. My dad got mad at me one day. I had did some stupid stuff, and he was like, "You know what? You out of here." And we had a recruiting office right on 111 in Halsted.
So did I was there.
That's where I went.
That's where you went.
That's where it all began. Yeah.
And so he took me up there and dropped me off and told the man, "Ship his ace under out of here." So the man was like, okay, he's taking all my information. He put me in there, education and all the stuff, my social and all of that. So he's talking about the different choices that I have and all of this. And then I got into a fight with somebody in the recruiting office, and he just took all of my stuff out of the computer. He was like, "No, you can't go." He was like, "You don't have a mentality for the service." He said, "I see that already." And he put me out, and boy, my dad was 40 hot, because I guess me and my older brother were the only two in our family that didn't go to the military. All of the other males, every last one of them are all veterans. And when my brother, he's like 9 years older than me, 8 years older than me, he just missed the draft by this much.
Wow.
He just barely missed the draft. But he had his draft card in there. They just didn't never pull it. He had a draft card. They just didn't never pull him. But man, I'll never forget that. And sometimes I think I really missed out on a lot of stuff that I could have did if I went to the military. But everybody got their walk, and my steps was ordered. Everybody got to go through what they got to go through.
That's right.
But I just wanted to put that out there. I tried, but they can't. I ain't even make it.
I tried to, and let me tell you what the sergeant came to my house and said. He said, "Miss Adams, we would love to have you in such and such and such and such." So I had a background. He said, "So let me see." I said, "Oh, it's nothing." He said, "We're gonna see about getting that waived." And no. He came back and said, "God damn it, you in here!" He cursed me out. My daddy came out of their room and said, "Hold on, goddamn it, you ain't gonna know my goddamn no like that." Blah, 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 blah. But the guy said, "Well, she should have told me." He said, "Goddamn it, I don't care if she didn't tell you at all. Goddamn it, get out of my goddamn house. You ain't been talking to my daughter like that." So that was the end of that.
You could have got a waiver.
Like I had a small background.
Some things they waive. You could have got a waiver for some things.
He was going to waiver it, but it was a little bad.
I got a waiver. I had a drug waiver.
Yeah, you from Atlanta. Yeah, you.
I'm from Chicago.
He's from Chicago.
Baby.
He's from the Wild Wild Hundreds.
From the Wild South, baby.
Hey, my man, just like you said, Neila, the man was talking about he was writing everything up and he got to that one part. Have you ever experienced drugs? And I said, yeah. He said, what? I said, marijuana. And he asked me, well, when? When was the last time? And I looked at my watch. I got a waiver. I got a waiver. Oh, I got a waiver. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, mine's a little worse than that. Okay?
Yeah. Well,
a little worse than that. I had a felony, a whole felony.
Oh wow!
And he didn't say nothing. He was so pissed. He was so pissed. He really wanted me. I passed everything with flying colors. That man really wanted me, and I was like, well, I got a little fuck up in my lifetime, okay? But I really had my heart set on going into the Air Force. I really did. I wanted to learn how to fly. I was flying. I just wasn't flying planes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was flying every day.
And I was the co-pilot. On the other side.
I just wasn't flying. I wasn't flying no planes. And I really did want to learn that. My heart still to this day, something say, I wish I would have been able. Things would have turned out a whole lot different for my life. I do know that. But like as Turk said, we all had our walk. I took that walk. It was a long, hard walk. And it was a long damn walk too. More than half of my life walk. Mm-hmm. And but I'm forever grateful to be here right now with all of y'all, hearing the beautiful stories, the war stories. How you held your head up high stories, how you persevered stories about you all's experience in the military. And Robert, I didn't ask you, while you were in, did you ever experience anything that was not so good for you?
My whole career. I was a Marine.
Yeah.
Marines are aggressive by nature.
And
And I shared that. I told you guys about my first 4 years. I was aggressive. I was a PT freak. I ran 5 days a week. I just did crazy things. Couldn't wait for the next event. Couldn't wait for the next field duty. 30 days. Oh, okay, cool. We didn't have cell phones back then.
Nope.
So I couldn't go and call and FaceTime and do things like like they do now. But I dealt when after boot camp. I went to school, and I came home. I came home on leave and got arrested in Chicago. Yeah. And hey, I remember it was Christmas Day, and I'm leaving. Well, my first wife, leaving her house, and this guy, he hit me. He ran into the car. So I got out the car. I'm fresh out of Marine combat training and School of Infantry, and I'm gung ho, spitting fire. And I get out the car. And this lady gets out the car and she takes off running. So now my antenna goes up. Then this guy get out the car. This guy get off the car, motherfucker. Oh, that was it. I'm coming to see about you. So next thing you know,
there's a battery charge.
Yeah. So I hurt one real bad, real fast. Because if you ever fight me today, my first thing, I'm gonna kill the first guy. It's just I'm gonna hit you with a death punch, and that's just me, because that's all I know. Right. And if I'm fighting more than one person. Because I gotta eliminate that first enemy, and then I'm gonna fight the other. Anyway, that's another story. But I went overseas, and I got to Japan January after I got out the jail stuff. I went overseas, got to Japan January 12th of 1985, and it was a young white guy that I met in boot camp. And we had, color meant nothing to me. I went to Truman College and I went to Moraine Valley College. So it was pretty much predominantly white. And I went to Morgan Park. You know, so I dealt with white people. I had no problem with white people. And this one guy, Dennis Larson, he was like, I'm 19, he's 18. These guys should stop. 19, he's 18. And we say, man, look, we leaving home, we going across seas, for the first time, we don't know anything. So we just made a pact. We're gonna look out after each other. And when we got to Japan, they put us on the same base, which was we were at Camp Swa, way up in Okinawa. And I was there, we was with Amtrak's track vehicle battalion with tanks and tracks. So when I got in the squad bay, because we lived in open squad bays, and they told us that we couldn't share share a cube. A cube is a little section, little room. It wasn't a room because it's all open squad bay, but it's where our bunk. We had one desk, and we both had a wall locker and 2 foot lockers. That's all we had. So we couldn't do that. They put us on one end. They wanted to put us on one end and one on the other. I said, no, you tell me why we can't share a cube. So what they did, it was made like a T. So they put us in They put us in the middle. They put us in the middle. So the next day was field day. So as we were cleaning up, you can play your music as loud as you want. So I had R&B and stuff and rap on one side. The other side, I had Leonard Skinner. I had all kind of country stuff going on, and then it hit me. Because the color of our skin. They didn't want us to cube together.
Like Nicholas.
Yeah, the color of our skin. But yeah.
Oh, it's still alive and well. It's still here.
Yeah, I already know it is. That's why I asked that question. Because you think about all these years, all these military veterans that are featured on television, white and black alike, old sitting in wheelchairs, and they all sharing their little stories. They still keep some sort of separation from color of skin amidst. I mean, this shit with racism is ridiculous. Education, military, homes, banking,
hospitals,
employment, hospitals,
schools.
It's ridiculous. And it's still going on with this craziness. Y'all get over it. Where our black asses is going to be here. Okay? If that thought y'all knew by now, y'all still trying to figure this out. Stop trying to figure it out.
They can't function without us, T. We don't want every war they never had. Without us, they wouldn't have won nothing.
What, you can't figure out God. You can't figure us out. Hell, we a part of God. We are the gods. I thought y'all knew. I don't know why y'all keep tripping. And black people, please share this. You young black people, please stop wasting your energy out here on this negative BS. Y'all sitting out here shooting each other, and you being shot at. Keep on, okay?
And don't know how to shoot. They don't even know how to shoot.
I don't give a damn about
more grandmamas and mothers and kids than they are their enemy.
Shooting each other, and they're being shot at, and don't even realize they're being shot down. They're so dumbfounded, looking at all this dumbness, stuck on stupid. And they out here killing each other, and they being killed day by day, and they don't even realize it. They're being killed mentally, spiritually, economically, all of that. And they don't even realize it. And all they did is stop the shenanigans. It's crazy. With all this shit, y'all got all these family members and been out here in military fighting wars that you still ain't won shit from.
And how Robert was talking about being in Japan, I had an uncle that was in the Marines also. He walk around with this simplified devil dog, and I can just say who Roger. But he was in Japan back in the 80s, and he had an experience where he ended up going to the brig over there because he was on the phone calling back to the States to my mom, and somebody called. It was, I think he said it was three palm colored people that wanted him to get off the phone and call him the N-word. My uncle unalived them. I'm gonna say that he unalived them, and then he went to the brig, and then after he did his time over there, he came back to Atlanta and got his life back together. And that was in the 80s. I remember that. That was in the 80s.
I was there in 85. But worse,
Yeah.
they shipped me to Quantico. Quantico is a white base. It's all officers, all spit and polish. We had, all schools, not enlisted schools, officer school, command and staff college, the basic school where when you come in and become an officer, you have to go through the basic school. They have all officer schools. And who was training them? The enlisted.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I mean, not we. I'm not there no more, but yeah.
And I promise you this. I got into it with this master sergeant. I promise you, I'm an E3. And he came in. I still had a lot of Chicago in me. I'm 21 years old now. Yeah, 22. And he came in my office pointing his finger. Now they teach us a scissor hand. Come in, hey, they teach scissor hand. But when you pointed your finger, that's when it got personal. Right. Thank you. And I got up out of my chair and I had fire in my eyes. I said, you better get out of this office right now. You will enter with a better attitude and talk to me like a man. And that was my time. I knew I was going to brig because he was a 6'2", 112 pounds. I was just going to squeeze his ass. So that was my problem. And I was angry during that time. I went to my first sergeant. I went to the commanding officer. I did everything, that I'm supposed to do. And these guys they pretty much ignored me. And I said, that's okay. I just said, I'm just getting out. So I got out April, came back in May. June, I got back on active duty and I did 16 years of retirement. And then my only thing, that master sergeant, he was the best teacher that I've ever had. And why did I say that? Even though he didn't like me, he didn't like the color of my skin. I was better than everybody at everything in the office, to include him. And he was an EA. And I'm like, hey, look, when I get in charge, I would not be like him. So everything that I experienced with that man, everything that I experienced, I was never that guy. And I was always, then I became later in my career, I became a counselor. So I had a softer ear, a softer heart. And yeah, I had to go through anger management. Absolutely. I went through that because I fought every Thursday night. I was in the first sergeant's office explaining why I done beat somebody up, at the E Club that night. And if those of you guys that know me, I'm the nicest guy on earth. Anything I have, I smile. I smile through a fight.
That's just why I'm laughing, because I can't imagine you, Robert. I've never seen a fiery bone in you. I've never seen it.
I had some aggression back then that I had to get rid of. So by the time I was a sergeant, I was in anger management class, and it's supposed to have been for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So mine was a little bit longer because you had to show improvement. So I didn't show improvement, right away. So I had to learn. So now when people start coming through, I'm helping the instructor. So I'm hearing, because now I'm going through all the counseling piece, and that's what I became later. I do have a master's in pastoral care and counseling. So I do a little bit of that on the side, So if you enjoyed, you want to get married, I can marry you here, and all kind of stuff's going on with me. So I got but I had fun.
Get on air one day, Robert.
Great career, and I'm glad it's over. But I try and teach whatever I can. I try and share whatever I can. If I get my hands on something, I try and give those nuggets. I can't make anybody do anything, but I can make sure I give you the information.
As Rosalind Cook put in there in the comments, racism is alive. They scared of us kings and queens. And I said, yes, they are. And she said, we must raise our children to be kings and queens. My father served in the Air Force, and he was in Okinawa, Japan. Yeah. My dad was in Japan too. My dad knew how to cook almost every meal you can think of from any culture. My dad can.
Wow.
Awesome. He was awesome. And any kind of meat, anything moving, he can cook it. Snake, possum, squirrel. My daddy could cook anything. And you wouldn't even know what the hell you eating is so good.
He'd have had a whole lot of snakes because I killed every one I saw in the field.
And you'd have been all on your plate and you wouldn't even know it.
Right.
Cube steak. Cube steak. Everybody, it has been a blast. Everybody, remember this. I want to first say thank you to PM Nicola Saunders and Robert Jones. I adore you all. My heart goes out to the both of you, being African Americans in the military, enduring such racism and oppressive states from those who are above you, as well as those who are below you. And I can't imagine that a lot of times that, I can't imagine a lot of times that you were just disrespected just because of the color of your skin, but yet you're in a grouping of people who are all so-called say they're fighting for the same purpose. A better America, a free America, or just to stay America, a superpower America. But the purpose of what? You're fighting for what purpose? A superpower America in what way? It's not going to be an all-white country, y'all. Y'all can get over it. I mean, stop tripping. It ain't getting,
by the year 2032, T, this is going to be a brown country.
Yeah, stop tripping. They done already set it forth in the journals. Y'all heard it. So, hey, Selvin, good morning. And so stop tripping because it is what it is. Black people gonna be here. You cannot destroy the beginning of earth. We are the beginning of life. We are life. And you're not going to destroy that. And if you do, let me be the first one to let you know this, dear white people. If you think let me rephrase that. Dear racist, hating white people. If you think you're ever going to get rid of black people, let me let you know this. If you really want to get rid of black people, I just want you to know you're going to be getting rid of yourself as well, because you will not be able to sustain on this earth or something of earth that initially came from the motherland. So I just want to let you know that. Don't try to keep trying to destroy us, because you're destroying yourself in the midst, because you ain't going to survive once we gone. I can tell you that right now. And everybody, let me tell you, thank you to all, white, black, blue, and green alike, Latino, you name it, to everyone that has taken time and given of themselves to serve in military, in the areas of military, whatever it was, Army, Navy, Marine, Air Force,
Space Force.
The
Space Force.
All of y'all served and gave your heart and your life and your dedication to something that possibly didn't even give it back. Okay, so I'm just saying, you served a purpose, hoping to be respected like all, and sometimes you weren't. But to me, you are kings and queens. I appreciate you. You put your lives on the line, and really, you put your lives on the line, especially when you've been deployed and all that. You're putting your lives on the line for family members that love you, children and husbands and wives that love you. And anything could have happened to you out there. So we're forever grateful for your service. We're forever grateful for your dedication and your courage. Your courage is what, man, I think of all Afghanistan and all this craziness that went on, Korean War and all this, the courage of you to even sign up to go into the military. I implore you. I really do. I adore you, and my heart goes out to you, and I say thank you for all your service. And everyone, and yeah, we're doing wonderful, Selvin. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, Selvin's Kitchen, light of love. Yes, Selvin, it is. And everybody, I want to let you all know out there, remember this, reach back and give back. Somebody out there needs your smile, your time, your prayer, some kind words. Somebody out there might need a sandwich, a bottle of water, a candy bar. Somebody might need a book, a magazine that's enlightening, lifting their spirits up. Somebody might need a few dollars. Remember, you don't know who you might be kinding to. But if the Spirit put it on your heart to be kinding to someone else, do it without hesitation, because it could be someone who has served their heart to this country as well as you. So give it up. It don't matter what the color. It don't matter what the gender. It don't matter. It don't matter the age. They out there. They stuck. Help them out. Help them up. Whatever it may be. And God bless all of y'all. God bless y'all. God bless you. He blesses me. He bless everybody. We need to learn to love God, love ourselves, and love each other. And work with each other. No matter what. White, black, and old and young alike. And I got to be honest with y'all. Love, peace, soul, and hair grease. And if your scalp is itching, please go wash it. And I'm going to people that don't put it out there. Since you know what I'm saying? If your ass is itching, go wash it too. Because right now, I know a couple of people say, no, she didn't say that, did she? Yes, I did. So please go do it. God bless all of y'all. Robert, thank you so much for coming right. He came on like that this morning, y'all. I got it. We and him didn't even talk about this. I was like, he's like X, Y, Z. I was like, yeah, you should be on the show. I'm sending you a link. Yep. And he is. Same as with Nicola. I was like, hey, Nicola, hey, I'm sending you a link. Come on to the show.
Yep, Nicola and Robert, and thank you again for your service. Appreciate you. And all of the information too.
One important thought, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
Nicola had put her hand up. She had mentioned she had showed a joint, and every joint, everything in your body carries a percentage. Everything, internal, external, everything carries a percentage. I have disabilities for my fingers, joints in my fingers. So if you guys know, I don't know, I deal with osteoporosis. So what happened? The information, Nicola, you were right on, and thank you for the educational benefits, because, like I say, I don't have to deal with that because my son is older and all of that had passed. I gave you guys the 800 number, the 827-1000. If you have any questions about VA, they are a wealth of information. That is their job. If you are putting in a claim, or you put in a claim for increase, you dial that number and let them know, hey, I have an intent to file. That's all you have to tell them. They're going to take that information. And the intent to file, that starts your ticker. It starts your ticker for pay. You have 1 year to submit the package, but that starts your ticker for pay. And I will get you guys the White House for Veterans. I have that number in my phone. I just didn't want to click away. But I'll make sure, Neila, I'll make sure you have it, so you can share that information with anyone that need it. I have not used it. I just met another veteran, and he told me about it. So I'm going to share that information. Like I say, if I get it, I share it. But thank you for having me on the show. You guys are awesome. I love you guys, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Robert, for coming on the show in a drop of a hat. And thank you too, Nicola, for coming on the show in a drop of a hat. Everybody, let's thank all of them. God bless all of you guys for coming on board this morning. Thank you so much. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to go into a quick prayer because we didn't have prayer. So I want everybody to just take one deep breath, hold it for 3, and then let it go. And prayer shall we go into? Shall we start? One deep breath. Hold it. Exhale. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Lord, and allowing us to join each other on these platforms from those that you have instilled in the minds and the hearts to build. We are forever grateful to be alive today, to hear the stories of those who have served for their country. Heavenly Father, this is Veterans Day, as you already know, and we're honoring those who have served abroad and among us in all realms of the military. So we're forever grateful for Robert Jones, Nicola Saunders, and all their family members, our family members who are also out there on the beat, those who are still alive and those who have left us, Lord. We're still forever grateful. We learned so much from lessons, and we're also grateful for all that you guys have imparted to us today, because someone out there we know needs some of this information. And if it wasn't for the grace of God bestowing his self upon all of our lives, we wouldn't be here today. And that information is out there for somebody to get. Someone needs this information. So please share it, everybody. God is even saying in my spirit to tell y'all to share this day. this day that he has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it, that we're all alive and we're all able to join forces together and laugh, love, and share our stories. To peace and all to everyone around this world, God bless each and every one of us. Amen, amen, amen.
Amen. Randall, let's catch up.
Yes,
Yes, we
Rochelle
will.
said,
Definitely.
happy Veterans Day. Rochelle,
Hey,
give
T.
Hey,
T, let me.
Rochelle,
I'm
get my
gonna.
number. Neila, make sure Rochelle has my number.
Okay, I'll give it to her. Rochelle, I'm gonna give you his number. Okay, I'm gonna text you his number.
Or anybody that want to call me. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I want to throw a quick prayer in.
Okay. Spirit led.
Yeshua, we just petition you today. We come before your courts. We humble ourselves, and we would ask you that you would touch every juror, every judge, every prosecuting attorney that are in these cases of blatant racism. The Ahmaud Arbery case, we ask you that truth would prevail, and that this family would have peace and justice in this case. And we ask that in the case in Wisconsin, that you would have your way there, that this would spark something that would soften the hearts of the powers that be, that they would, learn to get along, instead of so much division. Can't we just be humans and let the humanity spread worldwide? It's time, it's been enough. And we just ask you this in Yeshua's mighty name. Thank you. Amen. Ashe.
Ashe. We've been asking so long, so we really look to you to deliver upon all that we've prayed for these hundreds of years, Heavenly Father. Hundreds of years. Everybody, God bless all of y'all. I really am so grateful. Biz Network! Woo! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Salute to all our veterans out here. Salute, salute, salute. Yes. Salute, salute, salute to salute. Did I do that right?
Now I need you to lock that thumb in. I need you to lock that wrist in. It got to be straight. All right. There you go. Good job.
Did I do it right?
Yeah, there you go. Bring your hand down. Tilt it down a little bit. No, tilt like this. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Bang!
There you go. That's close enough. That's close enough for government
that's
work.
Close enough. Say if she was in the Marines, you would have got slapped for that.
No, I'm a trainer. That's what I do. I train her.
Hey, Robert, check
Yes,
this out. I had a partner. He was in the Marines. I worked with him at the Chicago Park District.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a scar on the right side of his face.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Turtle, how you get that scar on your face? Oh, when I was in the military, they was teaching us how to, I don't know what you call it when you had a gun and they say right shoulder, arm, left shoulder, arm. And he kept putting the gun on the wrong side. And the drill instructor came up to him. He said, you don't know your goddamn right from your left, soldier.
Right.
And he was like, sir, yes, sir. And he was like, well, I'm going to teach you today. You're going to know your right from your left. And he slapped the hell out of him. And when he did, he cut him. And it left a scar on his face. He said, now you got that scar on your face. You know your right from your left.
Right.
I was like,
ooh. I know my right from my left. He'd have known my right from my left. He sure the hell would have.
T, you would have got broke down. You would have got broke down.
They different times. They're not supposed to be able to.
It's a
different times.
Been 1,000 tough folks went up in that military with that same attitude.
Different time, right? So I think I think I caught the end of the. I know I was pushed and punched, not often, but it has happened. But it was all training, and I got it.
Yeah,
it took me. Yeah. It took my mind to something, but that was back in the early '80s. Now they have. Tell me, Nikolai, you're a little bit younger than me. They have what they call a stress card. What I hear in the Marine Corps. So if you're feel that you're being pushed too hard, you can go in timeout.
But that's only in training. That's not permanent duty station. That's not permanent duty station.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Because I seen when I was an instructor at Fort Leonard Wood, before I retired, the soldiers gonna come from basic training with that stuff. Sorry, you can't yell at me. And I was like, who are you talking to? You gonna do what I told you to do when I told you to do it, how I tell you to do it. I said I may be light, but I ain't that gum light. And if you wanna go tell somebody, they say you NDERs, come in the cola. Sergeant first class, 1 each. Go do what you need to go do. Because you're gonna do what I tell you to do.
Hey.
I can't yell at you. That's the problem.
Three things.
But anyhow.
3 things to having a successful career.
1,
do what you're told.
2,
do what you're told.
3,
and do what you hot dang told. That's not what I want to say, but you have a successful career.
Be where you're supposed to be in the right uniform.
Right.
Hey, everybody, well to say shout out to Fort Leonard. Hey, God bless y'all. God bless all of y'all. Everybody, peace on earth to everybody. Be safe out there. Remember to wear your mask, wash your hands, because COVID is still very much alive. And to thank a veteran as you see them on your way today, wherever you're going, you see a veteran draped in their gear, because you got some, they put that gear on just for today. And honor them. Give them a good shout out. God bless everybody. Peace on earth to everybody. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time on what? Bam, be in my element. And co-host Turk. See y'all then.
Nice.
And if you see a veteran in the store today, pay their bill.
Yeah, if you can, pay their bill. That'd be awesome. That would be a treat.
Even if it ain't nothing but a thing of foil and a gallon of milk, it ain't how much it is, it's the thought.
Don't say that, because I'm going to Lowe's to get me a dishwasher.
I won't be at Lowe's, man. I'm going to be over Home Depot's.
Hey, Nicola.
I know that's right.
You going to buy that dishwasher on your own.
Hey, Nicola. Hey, my wife is from Hammond, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife.
How far is that from Fort Polk?
Yeah,